What's up guys, Lord Sendo here. So as you're probably aware of by now, Deepwoken is right around the corner, and we keep on getting snippets of information, and today we got some more. It's not a lot of information, but it is game-changing stuff, and it's definitely something that you need to hear. First, I want to show you guys another Deepwoken leak that was just revealed today. This leak is from Blackstar's Twitter, and in one hand he's using a sword, and in one hand he's using a gun. Now, there are a couple of important things to note here. As you may have saw, Blackstar's sword is coated in some sort of elemental particles. We've seen this kind of effect in play before. The most notable example was in Nanoprodigy's His World video. Nano's sword is covered in some sort of particles, similar but not quite the same as Blackstar's. Nano was using lightning magic in this clip, so I believe that's the lightning version of weapon infusions. Additionally, in a recent image leak, Nano also showed off what appears to be the wind version of this. These particle effects are quite similar to each other, but at the same time different in their shape and colour. I believe there will be an infusion for each magic type. The two that I just showed you were quite obviously wind and lightning, so if we go back to Blackstar's one, I think with the crescent shapes and the colour theme, it's a pretty good guess that this is shadow magic infusion. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with me, or if you guys think this is something different. Back to the original image, we can also see the gun VFX completely different from the flintlocks that we saw earlier. The colour and the shape of the gun particles are completely different from before. I'll play a clip to show you. As you can see, the old particles were more red, and they appear to be smaller as well. So either guns have gotten a visual rework entirely, or this is a different type of gun. Personally, I would love to see a one-handed blunderbuss in Deepwoken, and the way that the particles disperse kind of looks like that, but unfortunately we can't see the model of the gun because it's covered by the particles. That's all I have to say for that image leak. Now let's go on to the info. So this is very important stuff. This is going to change the way that you play the game entirely, at least from the standpoint of combat. So a user initially asked Ragusa on Twitter whether it's possible to create a full magic build. They asked Ragusa whether it would be possible to rely on just venting and spells, and Ragusa actually mentions in his response that venting is removed entirely. Ragusa also mentions that pure magic builds aren't going to be as viable, but this is pretty obvious to anyone who follows the game. Venting used to be like the perfect blocking mechanic, but just for spells, so you could use it to shield against spells so that your enemy wouldn't hit you for free. So the natural question is, without venting, how is it even possible to protect against spells? Ragusa answers this exact question with the explanation that things can either be blocked, parried, or dodged. He says that almost everything can be parried, but with some exceptions. Now I want you to pay attention to the wording that Ragusa uses. So blocking and parrying are two mechanics that we know exist in the game, but dodging? At first I thought he was just saying, oh, you should just walk out of the way of the spell. But that's physically not possible in a game which has a lot of AoE spells, and spells that can even track you down. Instead, I think dodging is literally a mechanic that's added to the game in replacement of venting. This was just a theory at first, but Agamatsu even brought this up today in his podcast, and he said dodging was a mechanic that replaced venting, and it feels a lot more fluid than venting, and he's happy that it's added to the game. He even said that dodging was in some way a counter to feinting, so it's evident that this mechanic even works against melee attacks. While Agamatsu did not go into detail, I believe that dodging will be some sort of an iframe move, sort of like rolling in Dark Souls or any Souls-like game. This mechanic would allow your character to travel a certain distance and be invincible during those frames, meaning nothing can hit you. Meaning that if you time this properly, you can use it to counter spells. Keep in mind that this is speculation and we don't know much about dodging except the fact that this exists. Ragusa mentioned earlier that the way that you obtain spells is completely changed, and you combine that with the removal of venting, and the state of magic in Deepwoken has completely changed from the last time we saw it. We really don't know what to expect when we see Agamatsu and Ragusa 1v1 during their stream. Speaking of Agamatsu and his stream, if you go and check the Vows by the Sea group, you'll see some interesting posts. Raisaku and Agamatsu posted some sort of code. Now before you go and employ a team of 20 people to go and solve this, if you're new to the community, this is something that Deepwoken testers have been doing for the longest time. They've been posting random stuff in code, and none of it means anything. It's either just some troll message, or it gives us a date, which we wait for and nothing happens. For those reasons, I'm not rushing to solve this code, but if you guys want to go and give it a try, I'd love to hear what you guys managed to get. Tell me in the comments down below. Thank you for watching this video, I will see you in the next one, peace out.